Peace, peace. What's good, YouTube family? What's good, gang? Thank you guys for coming back to my channel and joining me. You know, I appreciate you guys. You know, I'm grateful for you. As you can see today, I'm starting a series. This is going to be an ongoing series, and it's going to be a breakdown of the natal chart of the United States of America. So this is going to be a very deep dive into the natal chart of the United States of America, because I feel like this is a good way to introduce the way I interpret my natal charts. And not only that, it's a good way to even kind of show the energetic summary of the United States of America. It's a good way to kind of see what the United States of America, what missions, what spiritual missions, what kind of goals and aspirations the United States of America as a collective conscious has. So this is going to be very in-depth. Mind you, I am going to chop these videos up into series, so it won't be long. Today, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Today, I'm going to be talking about basically three main aspects when it comes to interpreting the natal chart. And mind you, I wanted to show people how I interpret my natal chart. So this is going to be kind of how I do things. A lot of other people, they interpret charts and they do, you know, their own interpretation of the stars in a different way. And that's totally fine. But mine is going to be super unique to what I've kind of discovered on my own. So without further ado, the main aspect, or one of the main aspects I want to discuss, is going to be the houses in astrology. Okay, and I'm also gonna have a recording going on simultaneously, so I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about using the natal chart of the United States of America. So if you see me looking down, that's basically what I'm doing. So basically I have the natal chart here of the United States of America, and the first aspect that I'm going to be talking about is going to be the houses. So if you look here on this natal chart, you see that this is the United States of America. You also see the date is July 4th, 1776, which is when it was founded. The time that it came into, you know, birth or discovery is kind of unknown when you look online, but 521 is kind of roughly around there. So it's pretty much, you know, hit or miss, but it's not really that far off. So basically, when you look at this chart of the natal chart, okay, I want you to, I'm going to try to break it down and make it more easier to understand. So you can think of this circle right here as basically the brain, or your brain, okay? And for this demonstration, we're going to think of this as the United States of America's brain, okay? So as you see here, we have the first house, we got the second house, we got the third house, we got the fourth house, the fifth house, sixth house, seventh house, eighth house, ninth, 10th, 11, and 12. Okay, so these houses are more so known as the constellations of the sky. Okay, so right here, for example, when it comes to the United States of America, I'm gonna say the USA, because United States of America is so long to say over and over. So USA has Sagittarius in the first house. Okay, this is the first house, and we have Sagittarius there. What this is talking about is when it comes to your identity, which is what the first house rules, you're going to have more Sagittarian traits, or Sagittarian traits. So you'll be probably more optimistic, probably high into your belief systems, have these high ideals, free spirited even. So you can kind of get a connotation of the United States of America here. We are a nation that is very free spirited, very into our belief systems, very into our cultural values. Then if you were to keep going, like the second house would talk more about like your self-worth, okay? And the third house would be your communication. The fourth house would be your family, your home life, your ancestry. The fifth house would be your entertainment and your leisure. The sixth house would be your day-to-day routine and your lifestyle. And it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. But these houses are very, very important because they will show you exactly where certain energies are taking place within your life. So another house we can look at here is the seventh house. And the reason why I picked the seventh house is because if you look here, the United States of America has a stellium in the seventh house, meaning that there are more than three planets in one house. Okay, so you have basically about 12 planetary bodies. And out of those 12 planetary bodies, four of them, as we see the sun, Jupiter, Venus, and Mars, are located in the seventh house. All right. So this means that there's a lot of focus on the seventh house when it comes to the USA. What is the seventh house? The seventh house in astrology is going to talk about your relationships, okay, and to talk about your business and all about law and justice systems. So as you can see, with the sun being in the seventh house, there's a huge focus going to be brought when it comes to relationships in the United States of America, and how we go about relationships and how we go about balancing our one-to-one relationships in business and in personal. Okay, so that's something to really keep in mind for anybody out there that is just now learning to interpret charts, or even if you're been interpreting charts. It's just good to know these facts. So basically, that's the houses. That's the constellations. They're like parking spots, basically, for the planets. Okay, you can think of them as parking spots, and wherever certain planets decide to park at is going to be where you need to focus, or where you need to basically balance energies at in that house. But yeah, so those are the planetary bodies and basically how they function. Again, as we get deeper into this series, I will be going into each planet individually, also each house individually. So lastly, the last aspect that is really important to interpreting these charts that I want to discuss is going to be the asteroids. Now, the asteroids are going to be smaller planetary bodies that you discover within astronomy and astrology within the sky. So these asteroids, though, what do they mean in context of the natal chart? So as you can see, I put a few asteroids here. I have the asteroid Psyche, the asteroid Siwa, and the asteroid Kronos, because those are really important aspects when it comes, important asteroids when it comes to the USA. So basically, what do the asteroids talk about? The asteroids help you to understand more of your star identity. It helps you to get a deeper understanding of the energy that's going on. It can speak of things about certain traits. It can bring out certain abilities that you carry. It can even show you certain defects or illnesses that the star may carry that you also have probably manifested here in your physical vessel. So the asteroids can really go deeper into your star identity. It's almost as if the house is kind of, it's like a house. You got just a big old house. But if you go inside the house, which is kind of like the planet going inside the house, you can kind of get a better understanding of what that house is, how that house is set up, the energetic pattern or whatever energy is around this house. You can get a better understanding of it by going inside of there. So that's kind of like the planet inside the house. And then the asteroids are kind of like going inside of the house and actually looking at all the details and cleaning up things and finding new things and organizing things. Basically, the asteroids really help you to get a better understanding of the overall energy that you carry. So for example, when you have Psyche here, which Psyche, if you look up the definition of Psyche, it deals with the subconscious mind. The Psyche is a very subconscious asteroid, and I found that a lot of asteroids are named after, or a lot of names that we have in the English vocabulary, they come from a lot of these asteroids. The asteroids were named, and then it's kind of like names that we use here as well. So it's so simultaneous, as above, so below. But basically, Psyche is what it exactly is. It's the psyche. It's the subconscious mind. It's almost like related to the soul. It's like the deepest parts of you, the corest parts, the deepest parts of you, your deepest truths here. So as you see, we have the asteroid Psyche conjunct, meaning that it's on top of the sun in Cancer. All right, and you can see that here. So the sun is in Cancer, and for the USA in the 7th house, and then right next to it we have the asteroid Psyche in the sign of Cancer in the 7th house. So what this is adding to what we already know about the sun in Cancer, because as we already discussed, this is going to be dealing a lot with relationships and understanding the dynamics of relationship and how to nurture others in relationship and how to share and all of these Cancerian themes. But with Psyche next to it, it goes deeper. It goes a lot deeper because, mind you, this is the psyche that we're talking about. So this is going to show you how the sun in Cancer for the USA is basically dealing with the subconscious mind within the collective conscious. So a lot of the thing, what this means here on a very deep level, a lot of the things that take place in the United States of America have a very, they have a ripple effect across the entire world, okay? And we know that, but a very subconscious ripple effect, meaning that a lot of the things that originate within the United States of America set the stage for the rest of the countries, the continents. We are the world stage. We are basically like the I don't like to use the word like rulers, but we are the first world country. So of course we're going to have more leeway and more power and more structure and more control. And I will go into all of those aspects a lot more later into this series. But for this series or this video in particular, I just wanted to discuss those three topics and really just kind of show you what I'll be discussing more into. Mind you, I'll be going into the aspects, so this is going to get really deep, which is why I decided to break it down into a series. But again, the asteroids are very, 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 very important. They show you a lot more of your star identity. So with Psyche being on the sun for the United States of America, we are basically like the creators. You know, what we do here sets the tone and the stage for the rest of the continents. So it's very important that we understand that, because with Psyche being in the sign of Cancer, there's also a lot of healing that needs to happen within the Psyche too, because there's a lot of disillusionment, there's a lot of disbelief, there's a lot of trauma there that has been creating fragmentations, which have made a lot of people lost in their own lights and even misaligned a lot of people from their true purposes because of the traumas that we deal with in the psyche. As we know, it's no surprise or no secret that in the United States of America, we have one of the highest rates of mental illness. So that's my whole reason for my business and everything that I'm doing, is to really help heal a lot of these mental illnesses and anxieties that we have. So that's basically this first series. Again, we discussed the houses. We talked about the planetary bodies, both large and small planetary bodies. So basically we talked about the bigger planetary bodies, the sun, the luminaries, the moon, and we talked about the asteroids and how they bring out more of the star identity. On the next series, we will be talking more in depth on like the what each house is talking about specifically with each planet inside of there, and kind of getting more of the story for the United States of America. We're gonna work our way from the South Node, which is basically the past and kind of what the old energies are when it comes to the United States of America. We're going to work our way all the way to the North Node, which is going to give us more of where we need to be headed, what we need to align with, what we're trying to learn as a collective. So I hope this video helps somebody out there. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again. Peace.